Hello everybody, it's Tuesday and it has been a week since my last video. Life unfortunately is just taking over and lots of things happening, so I'm trying to get to it, and unfortunately, yes, it's been a week. So this is the card I'd like to make for you today. I don't have it on the inside, I just did the outside. Let's get right to it. So I'm not going to use the crumb cakes this time. I'm going to actually just use the Very Vanilla. So what you'll need is your card base of Very Vanilla, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And then you'll need a piece of Merry Merlot, and this measures 4 by 5 1/4. And then you'll need a piece of Very Vanilla, and this measures 3 3/4 by 5. And then you'll need a piece about 1 inch by 3 to put your sentiment on, and a Very Vanilla, and then the same size in the gold. I'm just gonna do it that cut this down just a tad once I get the thing on there, so the gold will be plenty big enough. And you'll need some of this beautiful woven threads trim. And when we add this to here, it makes like little tassels. You just take the bottom part off, unthread it type thing. I'll show you in a sec how that's done. We'll cut that in a moment as well. I'll leave that there. Right, and I'll put my card up here. Then for the front, you also need another piece of gold, and this measures 1.5 inches by 5, and this measures 1 1/4 inches by 5. Right, and I have the Floral Essence is the stamp set I'm using. I'm using the flower, the sentiment, wishing you a blissful future. So I have that already mounted, and my stamp. Okay, so you will need a scrap also. I will have all this listed on my blog if you need the measurements. You'll need a scrap paper to do your flowers, and you'll need 6. So, and I stamped the flowers in Merry Merlot. So let's do that to start with. And then I'll tell you what else you need too. So we'll just get this done right now. And what I did was the punch, if you look at it, it has 1 up here and 2 here. It's straight that way. So let's stamp our flowers that way too. So we just do 6 of the flowers like so. And then we're going to put that aside. Open up punch and pop these out. So you just line it up and punch like so, right? And you'll need 6 of those. So I have 6 right here already done. Okay, then what else you'll need is I'll show you as I do it. Here, the sprigs. I used the gold foil for those, and I used a sprig punch, which is this one. And I punched out, I believe, 6 of these too. You might only need 3 or 4. Yeah, I've got 4. So you might need about 3. I'm going to put them with the flowers. All right, and then I can set this aside and this aside. Then I popped out some leaves using the leaf punch. And I used Mossy Meadow cardstock. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Mossy Meadow leaves. I want to stick those with my flowers and my sprigs. All right, we're all done with this right now. Actually, we're not. We can do the sentiment. I'm going to put my punches aside because I've already done everything we need with that right now. Okay, let's take our little sentiment and see if we can get this on here. Right. There we go. Wishing you a blissful future. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to cut this down slightly. 3/4 of an inch will be plenty. So cut it down 3/4 of an inch by 3. Alright, I just didn't want to take a chance and stamp and not, cut it and not have enough when I stamped it. So, right, oh, and I forgot to show you the paper too. The paper we were using on the front of our card, this just little strip, is from the pressed petals. And it was this one. I also did a blue one. Where is that? Oh, I did this one, and I cut these same flowers, but I did in the Daffodil Delight, and I cut them to look sort of like daisy-ish. That was a blue one I did, but we're doing this one. And on here I have my paper in here with the pressed petals, and it has 2-inch square of each kind except for the framed pictures, and then all the coordinating color circles. So you can pick your colors from here. So that's why I picked the Merry Merlot, the Rococo Rose, the Mossy Meadow, and the Very Vanilla. So that was my colors, and the crumb cake was on the sample card. So they all go together beautifully. So let's get started. Okay, so we'll start with our card front. And I'm going to use tape, snail, for the quickness of it. So we're just going to put this on the left side of our card, like so, on the very left. Now if you haven't cut it exact, it's okay. Just put it on here, and then when you're ready, you can chop off the little bits that hang over, if you have any hanging over. It's all right if you don't measure correctly. All right, this I'm going to line up with the bottom, but even on both sides. Oops, maybe. There we go. Okay. So we have our pressed petals and gold foil on the side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flowers. So we have 6. And I'm going to use my little, oops, hold on, let me get one of these. It's a mess, but it'll work. All right, take a foamy board and just circle your petals, like make them bend in the middle. There we go. That. Alright. Now I'm just going to curve the petals just a little bit with my bone folder. Down. Just slightly bend it with your thumb over your bone folder like that. There we go. Just gives it that little curve. They're going to go flat in the envelope anyway, but just for your initial, if you're hand giving it, you know, that's fine. Or if you're making them for something else too. So there we go. Just go over these once more, make sure they're all puffied up. And then I'm going to actually just glue these together. You don't need any dimensionals. The card is actually thick enough. So put this on 3 of our, oops. Just glue them together like so. I can lift this off now. Put up there, don't need it. And then all I did was I actually just glued these two. So I'll put like one here in the center. And then you can just spread the other two where you'd like them. So I'm just going to put one there. And one here. Right. Now take all your little sprigs and your leaves and just slide them in wherever they fit. So just put a few dabs of glue. And let's see, I'll stick you down in there. And you can use how many you want. You can use 2, 3, 4, whatever you want to put on your card. There we go. Just put that there. I think I might do one in the middle. There, yeah. Let's see if I can get one in here. There's no right or wrong, just put them in so you're showing some gold. Now just put a tad bit of glue on your leaves. Do the same thing, poke them underneath. Put that into there. There we go, just as we have some green. And in there. There. That's good. Just with the 3 of them. Yeah, I'll save these 2. Right. So now I'm going to take my ribbon and just measure it there. And let's see, chop this off. We can cut it later as well. We cut it right there. And this is the woven threads trim. So you take this and then you just take this little piece here off the end and it peels right off. And we're going to actually just glue that onto the bottom of our gold. Like so. So you can see gold underneath here. And then when we put this on, you will see gold up here too. So I am going to try and glue that up there, because it does fray a bit. So let's squash that in with the glue and bring that down. Okay, so we are going to put you here. So we just have a tad showing off the edge there, and you can see the gold through the ribbon at the bottom. And we are going to, I have to put it underneath the flower. We're going to use glue for this too. It has to go under a little. I'm going to stick it slightly on an angle there, but not cover up my words. There we go. So it's got wishing you a blissful future. Still wet, you can kind of move it around a little. Try and get it sort of even on this side and this side. There. Now what we're going to do is take our snail and put it on here. Line up your 3 sides. So this should be even. If you get this side, and that side even, we should be good. Now the same thing on our card base. So do this too. Alright, close my glue. Stick that on there. There we go. There is our card. So, if you have wishing you a blissful future, you could put, let's see, it has on here, with friendly thoughts and best wishes today and every day. You could put that in there too, on the inside. And if you wanted to, you could stamp flower on your envelope or even on the inside, just sort of kind of to match your bring your card and your envelope together. You've seen me do that on numerous videos, so I'm sure you know what to do. On this card, I did use Wink of Stella for the glitter. You can see it on the leaves and on the petal leaves as well. But I have it packed away for a class that I'm doing, and I didn't didn't have it out here when I needed it, like now. So I didn't want to break into it, but this is what it looks like with the Wink of Stella and without the Wink of Stella. You could put some bling on it as well if you like, some jewels or something as well. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and I pray that you all bear with me while I'm going through some issues, and I will post as often as I can. We are off to Mississippi tomorrow again to see our son. This will be our last trip out there because he should be home. August 13th is his release date. So we're going to see him one last time tomorrow in Mississippi. So hopefully things will get back to normal next month. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate all your thoughts and prayers and your support for sticking with me. All the measurements and everything that you need to make this card will be on my blog, and I thank you again for watching. You all have a great evening. Good night.